Do it again, Jake. Jake, come out here and show them what you got here. Dude, exactly. Nailed it. I'm Rich.
I'm Frank.
And it's People, Pints, and Possibilities.
Yeah.
Heck yeah. All right, welcome to an exciting episode. Frank, I was on vacation, so this team, when you're on, you're on. When you're off, you're off. I was off for quite a while, so I'm thankful for the team. We just had an episode with some of our leaders here. And now Frank is off. He's up fishing with his dad. So we got our boy Jake in the house. We're excited. In this episode, we're just going to recap a little bit about the conversation that our leaders had on. Come on, Jen, come through. We're going to recap a little bit about our leaders and what I thought of the last podcast. I thought it was great. And then Jake's going to ask me some questions. We're going to talk a little bit about Cali coasting and being at Cal Coast. And then we're going to just rap about life in general right now. Jake's helped us get where we are, and he's helping us go where we're going to go. So without that, let's start from the top, Jake. You sent me a video on the marble theory.
Yes.
Dude, where's your headphones, by the way? Why don't you have
I don't like the headphones.
Why?
I don't know.
Is it like your way of rebellion, or what is it?
It's like the backpack with one strap, you know?
Dude, I like it. The young guy, dude. He's my day it was the overalls, the guest overalls with one strap.
Not a chance. Not a chance.
You looking fly. I'm so fly.
Marble theory. Yeah. You're I don't know. I don't remember her name. I just remember sending.
That's Brene Brown. You didn't even know. Yep.
Yeah, no.
I have the book.
But I just saw a video, stumbled upon it, describing how trust is like a jar of marbles, and every time you make a little action that either earns someone's trust or loses someone's trust, you're either adding a marble or taking away a marble. And the more marbles you have, the more they trust you.
Yeah.
And I just thought that was pretty badass, because trust, for some people, you are just marble jar full, and some people you gotta put the work in. And here everyone's very much like we're all trying to fill up each other's jars.
Yep.
And so I think that was badass. Sent it to you.
Yeah, you were inspired by it, but that's cool, because I think that goes back to before I addressed the part about it. You had to feel comfortable enough to send it to me and understand who we are enough to be like, hey, I thought this was good for you. This might interest you.
Yeah,
and
for sure.
You had to be compelled.
Yeah,
I love that word, right?
Because I could have sent it to a million people, but sent it to you because I thought that would, And
at a lot of workplaces, people aren't compelled. Like they don't feel like, A, if you didn't feel like you were a part of the team, you wouldn't send it. B, if you didn't know me well enough to know what I like and what I enjoy, you wouldn't have sent it. So there's like a lot of factors, a lot of marbles that are hidden in there that people miss, and that's a good point.
It's crazy to even put it like that, because
right, a lot of marbles had to be put in for you to even send that.
Yeah, for sure.
And marbles, marbles are like little things too, huh?
Absolutely. I almost anything. Really.
Do you have a marble moment that somebody did for you?
Marble moment.
Well, you're doing a marble moment right now. You're helping one of our team members.
True. I'm allowing Frank to go on vacation. You owe me, buddy.
Yep. Marble. Boom.
Absolutely. 2.
Now, whether the other person sees it as a marble moment also matters, right?
I don't think so. I actually don't think so on that part. I think the marble happens whether someone recognizes it or doesn't.
Because other people will recognize it.
It just tracks over time. Well, even for that person, I mean, say I ran and grabbed you this beer, and you'd be like, oh, thanks, Jake. But then over time, say it happens every Friday at this time, they'll be like, oh, you know what? Jake has always grabbed me a beer without asking, and I think it's happening whether they recognize it or not.
Yep.
It's just, there will be that marble moment like you were talking about. That's like, dang, you know what? I realize they have been there for me in this small instance every single time.
Small acts of kindness. What we're talking about, those marble moments, are people coming through for you when maybe there wasn't anything to gain for them, people helping you out, going out of their way to help you out, people having your back in the time that you need to have it, right?
Absolutely.
People covering for you. Those she calls them marbles in the jar. They're just little things like money in the bank, right? Coins in a piggy bank. And we're investing in people all the time.
We're just stacking trust.
Yep.
Which is badass because not a lot of places have that. Like this is, which also goes to show like the culture we have here and the fact that this is like it is a family, but at the same time, it's not like.
It's a team. It's a good team, like a quality team. You're right. Because we heard Jeff Will Susan say he liked team over family. And I actually agreed with him because family, like you'll do anything at all costs for family. And like, if your brother does something wrong, you're going to hide him or, help him out. And here, it's not so much that, it's more like I love this, and if it is a family, it's one that we choose, right?
Absolutely.
Like you choose this one.
Absolutely.
And that's a very powerful thing. You choose. So like our people, here's a good point in that is, you could work anywhere. Like you could go get another job right now, and we understand that and we appreciate that. But you choose to come here, and for that we are grateful. And people could buy beer anywhere and they come here. So we choose this group and we choose this family. And so once we choose it, why not contribute to it at the highest level?
Yeah. Invest in each other. And I mean, it's just a part of even the hiring process, right? Like before you even make it to like the big dogs, like you go through the team first and like, would you mesh with us? Like, if we don't, and thinking of actually, do you think that's like a part of it? Like, do you have to have this like, what's the word I'm looking for? Like, because going through the team, they have to earn your trust a little bit, which is kind of right to get through.
Yeah. Notice how we hire people. Okay, so talk about that. Yep. Those are marbles, right? So Martha, Frank, and I could easily just do all the hiring like at a place and say, here's the next person. Mm-hmm. And then like a wolf pack, right? Like Blake would say, you just guys would kick them around and see what they make it. But instead we do the opposite. We put our people on the front lines, put them on a hiring. And if you want to be on a hiring committee as well, and we ask them poignant questions, Nathan's here. He just went into it. And we ask questions about like, what's the hardest thing you've ever been through? How did you overcome it? What's something that was challenging? Like it's People, Pines, Possibilities written in questions. So our hiring procedure is started by the people who are going to work with them. And here's the piece. Then they deem them, they could say, no, not worthy. Well, I don't know. I didn't even get a chance. I trust them so much. Yeah. Martha, Frank, and I trust them so much that they make the initial decision. If they don't like them, they just cut them.
Yeah.
All they say is we interviewed 3 people. We didn't like them.
Yeah.
So that's a lot of trust.
Absolutely.
And then here's what I turn them around though. And this is why I make them, they have a ton of power there. Because I say, but here's the thing. When you bring them to the next level to meet Frank, Martha, and I, what you're essentially saying is, I believe in this person and I'm willing to support them here. Mm-hmm. I believe in them. I am voting for them and I'm saying that I think they're going to do a great job. Because if you don't think they're going to do a great job, do not bring them. You know what I mean? And there's a big difference because just your average everyday run-of-the-mill company this is what normally happens. Joe hires employee 1 and employee 1 comes on and everyone says, that ain't my guy, that's Joe's guy. Joe hired him. Mm-hmm. That's not my responsibility. Whereas here, we all hire them. We, as in the leadership team, you want to be there, you interview them. And if you want to be on it, anyone can be on the interviews. Then when you bring them, we hired them. All of us, including me. Mm-hmm. Like, I don't turn around and say, oh, Zach, Maddie, Blake, you guys screwed up. You hired this person. They're horrible. No. We hired this person. So now what's cool in that thought is you're bringing them with you. You're vouching for them. We're all responsible. So when mistakes are made, we're responsible for teaching them and bringing them in and making them successful.
Yeah.
Right. And that's just, I think that little thing, marble, investment, money in the bank, makes a big difference. Mm-hmm. Imagine this difference in the company. If I said, I'm the CEO, I'm doing all the hiring, I know best. And then I go and I say, here's this person. And no one else was involved in the process. Mm-hmm. Do you think there would be a different reception for that person? Maybe.
Right? I think it just depends on your marbles. Your marbles, yeah. Uh-huh. That like come to show. But I think one thing that's kind of cool too is like as far as the interview process goes, and I know Blake taught Zach this, and Zach says it's his favorite question, but during the interview process, something that like we give them a marble so that they could trust us is how Zach asks, what type of learner are you? So like that way they can tell us how they like to learn or adapt coming into a new environment, situation, workplace, and all right, we'll create this plan so that you can grow in these certain ways now that we know this is how you like to learn.
Yeah.
Which is pretty badass.
Why do you think that's important that we know how they like to learn?
I mean, speaking of like Nathan, we come from the place that won't be named, and it's just, you know, like you not everyone likes where they work, but if you do, it's just a plus. So like, let's just make it as comfortable, and it's just a place where you want to go to work. You want to help everyone else out because you believe in each other, and you also don't want to let those people down.
Yeah. What were the no, we don't need to say any names. We're positive here. The place that you worked at, and but I do want to do this. What are low trust behaviors that stick out? Because we value high trust behaviors.
I mean,
here.
my biggest pet peeve was like I'd be bartending, get off at like 1:32 in the morning Saturday night, and then at around 8 p.m. Saturday during the shift, they would put out the schedule for Sunday morning, and I'd be there at 6:45 in the morning, like.
The next day.
Yeah, like
wow,
4 hours apart, 5 hours apart. Super
Lack
low
of
trust.
communication.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it was like that every week. And it was just no one could ever get ahead of the schedule. So it was always like another low trust behavior is always being out of equipment. Like that's like if we were out of beer, you know. It was just it's hard to function. And when things are bad, people get nitpicky, and then you start attacking, blaming people.
Yep,
And
talking bad, poorly.
Yeah, and it's just a slippery slope. And
Morale.
when you get in a place where one person doesn't take accountability, it's just an infection, and everyone just stops taking accountability, and we're just pointing fingers at something that's just dying.
Yep, and counteract that with your experience here. We are not absent of issues. We have plenty of issues. You can't.
For sure.
We can't.
And they happen spontaneously.
You can't evade that. But what would you say is different in our high trust behaviors on how we deal with them, I guess?
I mean, last night, the CO2 tank, right? Yeah. I had no idea what was going on, went to you, and I could have easily just said, yo, Rich, can you go fix this? And then you taught me how to fix it coming forward so that we can do it again. And it's just, you know, I don't think you would invest the time to teach someone if you didn't believe that they could do that in the future without your help. And
and I even called Frank on his vacation. He's just to
he had
verify.
service?
Yeah, he did just to verify, and he backed me up. He's like, I think that the gauge is wrong after we went through all that. So he coached me up. I didn't want to bother him, but he also has trust that he knows I wouldn't bother him if it wasn't important.
100%.
But I also don't want to mess up. I want to have respect for his work and not mess it up either.
Yeah.
And but remember here, calm breeds calm, right? We're going to go from the emotional to the rational as quickly as possible, you know, because it's frustrating. We're trying to work as hard as we can. We have an issue. And by the way, I can't complain because you know who has it the worst? Lauren and Jana, who are out front trying to pour with a long line.
Absolutely.
And they have trust in me because it could easily be highly frustrating that you're trying to do your job, just what you said. But instead, they have faith that you and I are running around just as hard trying to figure it out.
Yeah.
You know,
like it wasn't like it's not that they weren't set up for success, but just like you said, the things happen, and they knew it was just a bump in the road and just adapt, go past it. Like you said, everyone's trying their best.
And you can see two scenarios, two different businesses, two completely different ways of dealing with it. Right?
Yeah.
And in the end, like, we're not just going to leave that hanging. The right way to do it is I already took notes on it last night, to make sure that we train as many people as possible to go through the scenarios of the gas and how to keep it right, and then ultimately get to what we had to do, which was change because the gauge was stuck.
Yeah. And it was nitro and oxygen, right? Like it wasn't just CO2.
It was a mixture.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's a good point, is like those behaviors. That's good. And those little things, marbles in the jar. Right?
Yeah. And like, I didn't even think about it till I said it, but the fact that like, right, like you taking the time to teach me means that you trust me enough to do it.
Yep.
And just as much as I trust you to teach me and
Yep.
leave you not to do it.
And watch this. Low trust behavior is this. If you're a leader or a manager or somewhere and you're in charge, hoarding information or withholding information because you think you have to be the only one to do it is a low trust behavior, right? I want everyone to be better than me. You know, my goal, because I have a different vision, I don't want to be the person who knows everything.
Yeah.
I want to be the person who has all these independent thinkers who know our direction and can actually just solve their own problems and take on any challenge. And I want to see like confident people grow from here. That's my goal. So my behavior has to be to teach at every level, right?
Yeah.
But a lot of people, they hold that information because they think their value is only in them being able to change the tank or,
Now,
you know, fix the problem.
do you think, and I'm not saying this to attack you, this is like just thought process. Do you think you're here enough to teach those kind of things?
No, that's why I have to teach everybody.
Yeah.
Because I have to have faith in Zach, Maddie, and Blake first. But then I know I need to get time. I try to get time with everybody just to be around them.
For sure.
Yep.
Yeah.
Just to check in with them. But I don't think that's why
And I know you're here all day.
Like
I'm not
important.
trying to like, you know, and it's weird to ask you for like more time.
No, I understand because if people who know me, I don't answer my phone half the time because
You've never not answered my call.
they know. But I'm always talking to someone. You know, like I'm investing my time in a lot of people.
Absolutely.
I was at the Boys and Girls Club this morning working with them. You know, lots of cool different things. I help businesses if they want. I just like seeing people succeed. You know, we had it up there, the Tracy Morgan thing, which is like. There's a Tracy Morgan video. Can we play those videos like YouTube? Or
I mean,
could we put it up right now?
I could. I don't know what would happen because technically it is copyright.
But
like,
it is on YouTube already.
How much motion do we got? You know,
it is on YouTube already. We're gonna find out. But there's a Tracy Morgan video that I love. It gives me chills. I sent it to Jake, which is he says he was nothing. He was broke, and Martin Lawrence said, "Come down. I want you to come check this out." This group of comedians were together. And he said it was the moment that changed his life. He saw his future in front of him. And he said, Martin Lawrence put me on the stage. He let me eat at his table. You know, he said, come on, man, I'm doing well. My success is your success. Let me eat at his table. And then he said the most important thing. At the end, he said, but he didn't do it. This ain't show friends. This is show business. And so I came through when he gave me the opportunity. But it's that idea that like I try to do that. My success, I'm at a point in my life where, you know, I'm still trying, but my greatest victories or success is not more money in my bank. It's the people around me feeling like they're making a difference, man, that they can do whatever they want to do, that they can overcome, that life isn't easy, but they can do it. And so I dedicate myself to that, you know.
their personal growth as opposed to like the economical.
Fills my tank. Dude, that's marbles in my jar, money in my bank, right? Like, Shody, what you think?
A little Todd Tompkins right there.
Right there. And just to believe in people, because it was like he saw his future as selfless, you know, like it's just that's the like levels of leadership or life, right? The first thing is you're trying to scratch and claw and be something, get a position, be known as something. The second thing is you're trying to build relationships and create these bonds and friendships and these things you can count on. The third thing is you want to be proficient, productive. You want to have the ability to come through, to be good at something, right? And then once you're good at that, the only other natural change is I want to teach other people to go through that process. I want to help them to get where they want to be, you know? And that's kind of like the phases of life. And so as you're younger, you shouldn't stress yourself out and look at someone like me and say, well, shit, I can never be that. No, I'm working towards that every day, but I know that that's a process.
Yeah.
And it doesn't happen overnight. It's fucking drips in a bucket, dude. Trust is drops in a bucket. Go ahead. What are you gonna say?
I was just gonna say this. I was gonna jump around right now, but like with like the death of 1,000 cuts, what's like what's the inverse of that? What's like success by 1,000 steps? You know, like
dude, death by 1,000 cups is this: be careful how you see the world. It will fucking be that way. And death of 1,000 cuts is the hardest person to make happy is in between your ears, your head. your mind, you. It's you. Zach said it in the podcast. The only thing stopping me is me. I say it all the time. The only thing stopping you is you. And I promise that. Sure. Like, let's look at this. Could you and I go and be a doctor right now and take 7 years and take all the classes? Could you and I do it? If I gave you, this is what I love. Okay,
my ego's up there. My ego's up there. But as a doctor, I think
anything, name it, lawyer. If I said I'm going to give you, I put $5 million cash on a table, and I said, Jake, this is going to sit in the middle of the den, and I'm going to challenge you to be a doctor by 10 years.
Oh, I thought you meant today. I was like,
No,
my ego says I could do it today.
No, not today.
I was going to stitch someone up.
Anything, you name it. Jake, you got to start your own brewery, and I'm going to give you this $5 million the second you have it open and you sell a beer. Could you do it? Could you physically do it? And the answer is yes.
Yeah.
Yes, you could.
Well, it's like there's a saying, there's like videos going around a couple of years ago, but it's like, oh, like, how much do you think you could make in a year if you tried your hardest, right? People are like, oh, like 150, 200 grand, you know?
Yeah.
And these are like multiple ages, but like mostly younger, like 152. Okay. Now, like if your parents were going to die at the end of the year, could you get $1 million? They're like, fuck yeah. You know, you just gotta, your why's gotta be bigger than your how.
Dude, and a good why can sustain, what is it? Knowing your why will beat anyhow, right? And so like the inverse of that, death of 1,000 cuts, is when we tell ourselves that we can't. Every day, when we subconsciously think that we're not, like, we're bleeding out when we don't know it. When we say, you know, and I get on you and we joke about it, and you asked about it in the podcast. But saying I just work here, it just limits where you're going to be. Versus, I'm not saying it's a bad thing. I know people joke around and humor's used, but I will say this: I know the other side. I know where I live, which is I fucking care about this. I'm going to try as hard as I can for it. And I'm not, you don't fake it. I want people to find those things. I want people to find I don't just work here. As we talked about it, I'm in the band. And so Jake, I say to him, you don't just work here. You're not, you know, we started having this conversation. Are you with the band or are you in the band? And I said, Jake, you are absolutely in the band. You're in the band, dude. Here, I want you in the band. And Jake is deciding, though. Jake gets to decide whether he is in the band, because look at this. This is a beautiful thing. He's with the band. Sure, that's a role and it's a responsibility, but I want you in the band. I want you to grab a microphone, get a guitar, stand up there and sing and say, this is my people. This is what I do. I'm comfortable here. I'm trying my hardest. And by the way, that's not forever. But people need to find their moments where they're fucking committed. And why they don't do that is because they're afraid of failure. They're afraid of criticism. They haven't figured out what brings them joy. And me, I just say, I'm going to try to find those every day.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm in the band. I'm in the fucking band. I'm the lead singer of life, right? I am. And regardless of what anyone else thinks, because life is short, man. Our history, like sure. We've been through a lot. You've been through a lot. We've been through a lot. You know, we've talked about it. My mom and my brother, I'm an open book. We talked about this. Let's talk about that. Were killed in a car accident when I was 4 months old. I never knew them, right? My dad passed away from cancer when I was just a teenager. And my grandfather. So I'm no stranger. That's not a victim mentality, by the way. It is I've seen life and how brief it is, and I will never choose to squander it.
Yeah.
And so that gives me an outlook. I also saw people in some of my toughest moments who believed in me. Mm-hmm. And they gave me the greatest gift the world could ever give someone. They believed in me.
Yeah.
They went out of their way to help me when they didn't have to do it.
Mm-hmm.
And I choose now to harness that, see it for what it is, and pass it forward to people. So I in turn try to give that gift to people, but I can't make them see it.
Yeah.
Right? And so that tells you who I am, so I don't allow myself to be around. We talked about this earlier. This is the chickens and the eagles. I want to soar with eagles, man. So if you're beating yourself down, I'm going to give you the pump up speech and I'm going to let you know, but it either has to soak in and you have to believe in it, or you're going to be with the chickens and you're going to look around and wonder why you're not soaring. And you've got to challenge yourself. And by the way, it's not being perfect to say, what's my reality right now and where do I want to fucking be and how do I get there?
Mm-hmm.
And we're doing that dance all day, every day.
So what do you think about people who, I don't know how to word this, people who, like you were saying, want to be an eagle or whatever.
Yep.
But like, you know, like a bad day's a bad day, and they just get in this like, oh, who was it? It was Brett Poppin.
Yep.
Brent Poppins, and he was saying how like like life is momentum.
Yep.
What do you think about the people that get stuck in like their little like chicken phase, so to speak? Like, how do you?
I know it. They do.
Yeah.
What's your question? How do they get out of it? Or
Yeah,
what?
like what about the people that are just like stuck in the middle?
I think that okay, number one, great. Recognition is number one.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't want to be here. I recognize that I'm doing this to myself. That's paramount, because a lot of people, they mask it through drugs, alcohol, what you name it, whatever it is that takes their attention away from it. The first step is recognition. I hate to say, the cheesy way. That's number one. I recognize that I have an issue. The second thing is get away from the chickens and go find an eagle. Like, call someone like me. Find a person where you can be upfront and be honest and say, dude, I am in a bad way right now, but I need some help.
Mm-hmm.
I need someone. I need just your advice on something. And then the third thing is you have to follow through on whatever it is that brings you joy. So like, if you're miserable in your relationship, you have to get out of it. If you are miserable in your job, you have to break the cycle.
Mm-hmm.
Because there is a cycle of repetitive, like, I do this, I get a job, I feel like I'm unfulfilled, I hate my job, I'm depressed. I get in a relationship, I don't try very hard, it never goes very far, we break up, I'm depressed, right?
Yeah.
They become these loops. You have to why do I say fuck? Because it interrupts behavior.
Mm-hmm.
You have to shake the shit out of people sometimes. And that's what I wish I could do. You got to shake the earth, like shake the world, shake the person, like snap out of it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you can be something, you can do something, and you have to do that to yourself. You have to find somebody who breaks that cycle of, like, think of the monotony. It's all a theme that we've had here today. Things aren't good. Things are hard. I don't have any luck. I have no luck. I'm with the band. I'm never on the stage, versus I'm a valuable contributing member of this fucking team.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to try as hard as I can. I care about this. How about this? People are so afraid to say, I care. I care about this. I really do. I care.
Do you think have English? Do you think people struggle with that here?
I do.
I think
I try to break people out. No, they care about Calcos. They do. I don't think they know how to say they care about. I don't think they know how to take themselves. We talked about this earlier. All of our people have the ability. You guys talked about this in the podcast. You would not be on this team if you weren't a G. Like, you're not a stud.
For sure. Yeah. And this gangster, not as in galvanizer.
That's gangster.
Not galvanizer.
Yeah.
Not widget.
Galvanizer.
Not widget.
Yeah. But once you get in, remember the cycle of life. Now I'm in this group of people and I'm doing well and I like it here. And not everybody has to move up. Like, but now the next phase is to be able to say, I see that job right there and I really want to do that and contribute to it. I want to be a part of it. Mm-hmm. Or I want to know more about this. Or I'm feeling left out. Like being able to like describe your true feelings. That's the next phase.
Gotcha.
Right? Like, I see this podcast. I want to be a part of it. Right? And so for you, like, here's another, there's these sticking points, these ceilings hit us all the time. You came into Calcos. Look at what you did. You break through. You got to keep fucking breaking through. Life is about breaking through. So you came in and you got a job with the Eagles at Calcos. And I'll say that. We're all badasses here. Love it. Proud of everybody here. And then you get a job and then you break through the ceiling. You're like, I want to help with the podcast. And you break through, and you just did it again to me before we started talking. And then you kind of get comfortable again. Here we go. Like, we're just going to come in every Friday. We're going to do the fucking podcast. We're going to do this. No. We're going to break through this again. And you said, hey, when are we going to talk about me being a shift lead? Boom. That's a breakthrough moment. Don't let it pass. I said, okay, I did what most people do. I'm thinking about something else. I love you. Yes, let's talk about it again. What most people do is they go 7 months and they say, watch this. It's the difference between excellence and being mediocre. Eagles and chickens right here. This simple thing. You could easily walk away from here today when you did ask me about can you get more responsibilities and move up to a shift lead. You absolutely asked me. You could easily walk away from here today and in 8 months say,
I tried.
Yeah. Well, remember, I told you that one time versus this behavior. Look at this person. Rich, remember I asked you about doing that and you said, let's talk about it every week. You should be banging down my door. You should be like, dude, I'm never leaving until you give me an answer because I want this. I freaking want it.
I'm going to clarify something to clear my name a little.
Good.
This is the second time I've asked. And the first time I asked was like a day before he left to Europe. So this gap.
That's good.
This gap. He was, in Europe.
No, and I wasn't even.
Okay.
I'm not talking about that. I'm actually not because I forgot. How about I forgot about the first time? And that's my point. It's like
House Gryffindor.
What's Gryffindor?
Never mind.
What is that?
Harry Potter. It's all good.
Oh, all right.
Yeah.
I think I forgot about the first time you asked me because I did. I went on these trips and then I came back and you asked me again and I said, oh yeah, let's do that. Let's talk about it. People will. I'm just going to speak from your perspective, and you don't think this, but a person in that situation could easily say he doesn't want me to do it. But you know me well enough. If I didn't want you to do it, I would tell you no.
Yeah.
Right. And so it's your job to beat the fucking door down to make it happen. For you. Does that make sense?
Absolutely.
And I'm not saying like. I'm saying I'm not ignoring you. I do all these thousands of things because I'm trying to soar with the Eagles. I'm finding every eagle I can. And you've got to grab me and shake me and break my and say, Rich, I really want to contribute to this, right? And people need to do that all the time in their life with something that they care about. Something that they're, like with Martha and I'll tell you this. Like I don't have the best, but I just know this. I don't know where I learned this, but it's like, do I want to be right? More
and get it right,
yeah, or do I want to get this right? Like, and I'd use that here in this brewery. I don't want to be right.
It's infectious when you say that. Like,
let's just get it right.
Yeah.
It's not, and my ego's not in the way. Let's be humble. And so it's just like in a relationship, do I need to like win an argument? Because what is the reward at the end of this? Like
sleeping on the couch.
Yeah, I'm gonna make my voice heard, and I'm gonna, but not at the expense of somebody else. You know,
absolutely. I don't need to be the one that switches the gas tank, but if I'm called upon, like I can.
Yep.
Which I think is important here.
And so the death of 1,000 cuts was just like, it's the idea. It came up multiple times in those guys is and I'll leave it at this for that section is it came up multiple times with them with it, which is like. I want people below me to be able to convey when they're frustrated to me, yet I don't have an expectation that I can convey my frustrations when I'm frustrated.
Mm-hmm.
And it was that leaders eat last piece that Blake crushed when he said, you cannot lead properly if you don't take care of yourself.
His psych degree was just in overtime, absolute overtime. And
what did he say? How did he used an analogy, which is great because that's an easy way to take a complex thing and make it simple for someone to consume. He said,
if the plane was crashing and there's one mask left, are you going to put it on yourself for the kid?
And the mask comes down, you got to put it on yourself.
Yeah. Which is also what I was saying, like, it's hard for someone like me who, and I wasn't always this way, but like I like to think that I'm very much like a selfless person, and it's like hard to almost put yourself first because of this whole, you got to make sure everyone else is good before yourself. So it's weird, almost like adjusting into like, you got to become like not selfish, but you got to be self-sustaining.
You do. And there's a balance because either way, both are bad, right? So if I'm putting everyone first, and I'm doing everything else and I can quickly become a victim or a martyr, right?
Yeah.
And that's not successful. Or the other thing, if I'm putting myself first and I'm constantly going for mine, then I can be a narcissist, whatever you want to call it. I can be an asshole, right? That middle ground is where we're constantly living in this. Life is lived in the gray area, right?
Yeah.
Which is like, man, I care about everyone, but in this instance, I have to take care of myself, which Maddie talked about when she said she finally just told everyone, like, I can't work today. Like, I'm just not feeling it. Right.
Yes.
And the funny part is they went around about all the other things, but the end result was it was okay.
Yeah. No, it was.
Right.
And yeah, I think I walked in and I told Maddie, like, she looked at me and she goes like, you look terrible. And I was like, yeah. She goes, yeah, I'm the same way. And I was like, all right.
Yeah.
And then she told me how she was feeling, and it almost made me like, I didn't really have anything going on, but I was like, all right, like I gotta, like I don't want her to like harm herself over this.
No.
And,
And that's a good team. Like the ability to say, I'm not feeling it today. Like here's another connective piece to that. People get nervous about like, like somebody doesn't do something one day, right? So Maddie comes in and, forget it. I'll just leave Maddie out of it. A person comes in and they say, I'm just not feeling it. I'm going to go full clothes all day. Perfect. And they go do it and the team covers for them. Everybody worries like, well, if we allow them to do it, then everyone's going to do it. And it's like, no, you reveal yourself over time. If someone does do that consistently 10 times, 5 times, 7 times, then we're going to sit down and now we're going to describe the emotion, which people have a hard time with. The conversation is not, hey, you're pissing me off because you keep taking time off. The conversation is, I'm frustrated because I feel like you're taking advantage of the team, right? Like really describe what's bothering you. And people, it's very difficult for people. And you're impacting the team in a negative way now. So a quality answer back is, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I didn't know I was doing that. Right? And that's a good team.
And this is me asking, but like, that's what would happen, right? Like we haven't ran into a situation.
No, it's good. I think that does happen a lot. I think people get so afraid and then they have this like buildup in their mind that it's going to be so horrible to have this conversation when it's really not that difficult.
But I'm talking like here with that exact scenario.
Yep.
Like, have we had that situation
No.
where, okay, I was going to say,
we have not.
I was trying to,
for clarification. No.
Yeah.
And by the way, if someone did say back, I don't care, I'm doing my own thing.
not a G.
No,
Not a
like,
G.
dude, here's the next piece. And Zach is good at like, Zach is kind of like, whether they said he's a part of me or a blueprint of it, he's just around me a lot. The next question is if somebody says, I'm not down for that, I'm not doing it, I'm not a team member, then we say this probably, I'm not saying you're wrong, this just probably isn't the place for you.
Yeah.
Right? That's not how we operate.
Yeah. And I
Like,
mean,
we care about each other.
I'm not going to use anyone else as an example, but like I myself have asked Blake a couple months, maybe even like a year back, but I was like, Blake, like I'm having terrible mental day, like a lot, it wasn't like just a lot of bad things were happening. And I was like, am I allowed to quote unquote like call in sick? And he's like, yeah, just like try to find cover. First person I texted, shout out Jana. But I literally, and I was upfront about it. I wasn't like, I'm sick. I was just like, hey Jana, like I'm having a terrible day. Like, could you come in? And just before she even said yes, it was like, how can I help you? And that's just like the team we have, which comes from marbles.
Marble
exactly.
in a jar.
And Jana's jar.
Jana put a marble. You put one in her jar. Yep.
No,
and hers filled up.
Jana's jar is absolutely. She's got like 4 jars full.
And at some point, people get nervous about the gray areas of moving, but if people will reveal themselves over time. You'll know if somebody's good or if somebody's bad. We have to give them time. There's a grace in there. There's like, people, and then you sit down and you have authentic conversation with them and say, where are you at? How is this working for you? And you hope that in the end, hope is not a strategy. In the end, if you do your diligence,
The rebellion was built on hope.
right? You do your diligence. Is that like what was that a reference
Star
to?
Wars.
Oh,
The rebellion was built on hope.
in the end, if you do your due diligence, you can find somewhere in the middle. And trust me on this. When you're having clear communication, people who don't feel it don't want to be here.
No, it's awkward. It's awkward.
It's awkward.
It's like when you walk in the middle of a deep conversation and you're like, do I stay? Do I leave?
Yeah. Hell yeah. All right. Well, we talked about trust. Oh, you asked about responding to threats. We have a SWOT analysis. Those guys kind of talked a little different. Here's what's funny is not funny. This is what's cool. We put all our team out there. I didn't have an agenda. I didn't know what they were going to talk about. And easily people could come to me and say, well, your people weren't polished or they didn't know the message exactly. And my response to them would absolutely be, what a beautiful thing that people can just come together and talk about leadership, right? How many jobs do you get to do that? How many businesses do you work in where you can talk about your feelings? You're talking about building a team. It doesn't have to be right.
And it's not going to be like I know we said this in the last podcast, but like love and trust, like it's a knife. Like it can be 100% used against you if you manipulate it, and like it can be like a sign of weakness,
Yeah.
like you could put your marbles in my jar and then I could immediately just like hold it against you for doing these things. And I just think that's like amazing that we've developed a team that
trust can be a weapon, they said.
Yeah.
Dude, and here's the funniest part, because I think I would have the best way to come back at that is the way I see trust. They're absolutely right, but I see it this way. As a wild animal, right? A wild animal, and I hate to say this, I do think of you guys as wild animals in this analogy of like, you don't walk up and fucking grab an animal and say, we're going to be best friends, right? Something that's on their own, that's independent. Here's what you do. You just throw a friggin' crumb out there and you see if they enjoy it. Because if you go grab them, they're gonna bite you.
Well, and that's right? Like I think,
and by no way do I see, but the people understand that scenario, which is human beings are not just going to let you come up and say, I care about you. I'm the one who's gonna help you.
Yeah.
Everyone's like, get away from me.
Yeah. No, I mean Zach has said it on the
person.
podcast. Blake has talked about it. But like all CalCoast is breadcrumbs, and it's like, so if there's like a circle it's the complete circle is a list of everything we're doing. It's getting done.
Yep.
Like we'll leave little gaps, or he says you leave gaps.
Yeah.
And you leave the gaps, and it's like, oh, if someone picks it up here, it's like a breadcrumb, and it's like giving people the opportunity. It's gonna get done, but like there are chances for everyone to step up and do more, be greater.
Yeah, and it
not necessarily be greater, but like do more, take responsibility.
Absolutely. We just described it together. That absolutely is my personality, where I'm not going to chase you to do it because I know that's inauthentic. If I make you do it and you do it because you think that I want you to do it, I know you won't love it and you won't be great at it. Mm-hmm. But if I give you the opportunity and I show you what it looks like, and I don't know what it looks like all the way, and then you continue to pursue it, I'm absolutely going to get, I'm not only going to help you, I'm going to try to 10 times what you're doing, because I know that positive momentum, it pops, like it goes, it's like a stock. It just pops.
Yeah.
And when you find it, you got to harness it because it'll disappear.
Yeah.
And so absolutely. But that trust, it's crazy that people don't understand. The trust is not in, it's not in any big thing. It's not like a clinic where you all get together and talk about trust. It's our everyday simple behaviors and the way we treat one another.
Just the way we talk to each other too. It's like, like you can feel intentions.
Yeah.
And you always say assume best intentions, but like
that's hard to do in the real world.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah, and like we said, what did Blake say? You drank half the Kool-Aid, right? So people come in and Zach's like, I drank the Kool-Aid. And Blake goes, no, you drank half the Kool-Aid, because the full Kool-Aid is being so comfortable that you actually can express your feelings and you're not feeling like, they talked about, the best part is they talked about how they deal with like stress or frustration. And they were actually describing coping mechanisms, right?
Absolutely. It's so annoying.
So I would have crushed them if I was here, but
it's so
Blake
annoying.
did it for me.
Every Sunday, Blake comes over and we watch football, and it's like you tell Blake something, and not in a bad way, like it's always in joking manners, but like, and then he tells you why your psychology is wrong, and it's like and you're right, but like I don't. Fuck.
Zach and Maddie said, and I've already talked to them, so I'm not picking on them because we're imperfect, all of us, everybody. Yeah. They said, when you get frustrated, what do? When they just talked about, they want everyone to tell them they're frustrated and why they're frustrated so they can help them, right?
Absolutely.
And they said, I scream in my car, or I drink a lot, I drink bourbon or whatever, right? And then Blake said, no, like we're supposed to talk about what we're frustrated about, seek someone out to have them help you.
Blake's a monk.
And that's normal, that's like normal human behavior to like push back against that and be nervous, to be vulnerable. Yeah.
100%.
But it's only earned, and Shit, we're happy. We're
So
ahead.
actually,
Ask me a
now that I
couple
think about
questions.
it,
We're gonna get
and this
Nathan
is an
on here in a
attack.
little bit.
This is an attack on Maddie and Zach. Do you feel we, the staff, the team, haven't earned their marbles? Ooh.
What do you mean? So is it, yeah.
So like the fact that they're able to scream in their car and drink the whiskey, is that because we haven't put enough marbles in their jar?
No, not at all. I think that they want to do a really good job. This is a good question. I think that they want to do a really good job for us. And so they put a lot of pressures, once again, that internal pressure, because we never come and say, you guys messed this all up. We say, sure, let's revisit how we can make it better. I think they put a lot of pressure on themselves to do well. And in tune, they go and do a bunch of things and don't really communicate what they need to you because they're just trying to solve the problem. As Blake said, they're, instead of creating systems where everyone can work together, they're solving problem 1, problem 2, problem 3 individually all the time, right? Whereas if I just stepped back and created a complete system where everyone could do it, then it would be much more beneficial, right? But I can't take the time to step back, work on the business, work on the system instead of in the system, right? Until I take the time until I remove myself from it. So that's you in here. Let's give this example. So you do the podcast, right? You would have to remove yourself from the podcast, trust someone else to set up the podcast, and then work on an outline that tells someone how to do all the things. Upload it, like set it up, upload it, put it together, edit it, and put it all together, right? But it's hard to do that when you're in it. And you're doing it every week, and you become frustrated when I say, hey, I want Nathan to do it, and I want you just to work on the system. That's exactly what's taking place with them. And then you say, well, wait, so I'm not doing the podcast anymore? Well, no, we want Nathan to do it, but I just want you to oversee it. And you say, well, shit, am I being replaced?
Whoa.
Right?
Whoa.
And by the way, what's your new work? Your new work is training someone to do it, not doing it.
Yeah.
So what do you have to do? You have to sit down with a Word doc. You have to take a picture of
create a system.
What a setup looks like for 2 people, what a setup looks like for 4 people, what a setup looks like for 3 people. Take pictures. And then Nathan has to be able to come,
emulate,
read this, open it, put it together, see it all the way through, and he's going to fail, and you're going to say, normal people would say, well, see, I told you I should have just kept doing it. But the problem is, if you don't teach someone else to do the podcast, you're responsible for doing the podcast for the rest of your life.
Yes.
And it's okay if you want to do that. By the way, if you say my life's goal is to continue to do this podcast and do it at the highest level, and I'm going to own it forever, that's okay too. But I don't think that's true for you, right? I think you have bigger and better things you want to go to, and you can't just leave like something that's good. You have to master it, and then you have to automate it. You have to teach someone else to do it. And then by the way, someone like Nathan would now take a lot of pride. He would be like, oh, I know how to do the podcast. I get to contribute more than I was contributing before.
Yeah.
And then you're not losing. Now you get to take on something else bigger, right? Maybe you work on it and you're getting sponsors now and you're booking bigger guests.
Feel free. Hey, hit me.
Right?
Hit me.
And my point is
Hit
that's the process they're going through, and it's very sticky. It's the process I'm going through, right? So do I think that I could go through, this is going to sound horrible, and set this place up better than anyone else in the morning? Absolutely. I do. Can I physically do that and do all the bigger things?
Probably not.
No. Can Frank make beer better than Blake and anyone else in this organization? Yes. But if Frank has to make beer every day and he never teaches Blake and never lets him go and gets him excited, then Frank is chained to making beer. And I can promise you this, we haven't had this conversation, but at 60 years old or whatever, 10 more years down the road, Frank is not going to want to be making beer. Somebody else should be making beer. A new passion, by the way, the youth has to replace wisdom up here. And it took me a long fucking time to believe this, dude. I was the young guy. I'm smarter than everyone else. I can work harder than everyone else. I know more than everyone else. And I realized I don't. Life experiences take life experiences, right? You
Yeah.
can't substitute those.
Sure,
you can read 100 books.
Did you listen to the podcast I sent you on your trip?
Which one?
I there's
didn't,
3,
but
no?
I'm going to. Sorry, buddy.
Crazy.
You
It's all
sent me
good.
one? No,
Yeah.
I will listen to him. I listen to him every night. I apologize.
Regardless, one of the Chris Williamson,
I love that. Dude.
one of his.
Chris Williamson, come to Paso, drink some beer, and come on this fucking.
I think we'd be on
podcast.
his. I don't think he would
Dude,
come
can
here.
you tag him? No,
Yeah.
hell no. He needs to help us. Big up, dude.
100%.
Hey, let us eat at your table. If you
100%.
let us eat at your, teach us, train us.
Facts. But one of his favorite quotes, and it's not his quote. He heard it from someone. I just know it like blew up with him saying it, but it was like, "We live life forward, but it only makes sense going backwards." And I just think
Describe that.
what
that means.
like
to you.
what you're saying, how the wisdom of being old and knowing how to make this beer, as opposed to Blake and Noah being young guns and like learning how to brew, and
Yep.
you know, or Craig. I'm gonna compare Craig to Frank. You know,
Yep.
like Craig had the time and the
Yep.
wisdom and like the knowing the small things that like on paper this should work, but it doesn't.
Yep.
Like you got to know when to cut the yeast, when to extract, as opposed to, oh, it says this, but because of the temperatures hitting this, we have to spike it here.
Yep.
Like just weird things.
Absolutely.
I don't know how to make beer.
You're saying exactly what you mean. I hear you, which is if Craig doesn't feel comfortable in himself and want to help us, he could hoard that beer making knowledge, but he trains someone else and he gets through this career and it's doing well. And now Frank is doing it. Now Frank, the blueprint of that is now teaching Blake, and hopefully Blake is going to teach somebody else. Maybe Noah's going to come in there. Right. And we're going to do it with respect to that's what we teach around here. Respect to the past while moving to the future, new ideas, new innovation, new everything. But we don't throw away who we were and where we came from. We respect it, man.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and the goal for Martha and I, like, we don't have kids. So somebody has to run some of our portion.
I'm working on buying them out. I'm working on buying all of them out.
Dude, and money doesn't mean anything to me. What am I going to do with it? You know, you see my truck, like, dude,
Frank said 10 million. I offered him 12, and he goes, now it's 22. Like, what the hell?
So, like, you got to pass it on to the next generation.
Absolutely.
You know, you got to, and I'm doing it. So the last part is I told these guys, the thing that we built here, my life's experiences were here, and then I tried to apply some of those with Frank, Martha, and then the team, and we created this great culture. I think we're leading in culture. Like, I don't think we're perfect, but we can go sit against any business with any employees, and we could talk them under the table.
Argue, like Slow County for sure, but I think we actually have like the best team inside like California, if not the country.
I agree.
Like,
so now I'm gonna bottle that, and I've been working on it, and we got to write a book. And we came up with a system. I'm not giving away the secret sauce there. But the irony is I've been helping some people who ask me, so I'm the same as all of our people. Everybody gets nervous and everybody doubts themselves. I want to just leave this point is even with the confidence that I have, I kind of just thought about Calcos and I showed all you guys what I put together, and people, I started helping businesses and they started saying this worked out great, but I did it all for free. At this point, it's starting to turn into like people are saying this really worked and I want you to do it, right? So now I need to like start another business, get some of you guys to help me. Like we're going to go out and eventually we'll write a book and we can go talk with teams and anyone can be a part of it who wants to, right? Yeah. And maybe it fails miserably and maybe it's highly successful. Who knows? But I know that there's life there. I'm nervous because up to this point, I am a hypocrite because in my new venture, I just do it for free because just like you, I'm not in the band, I'm with the band, right? I'm doing this for free. There's no skin off my back. You're not paying me. I could leave at any time, right? It keeps it really safe, keeps it really comfortable. Well, now somebody, people are starting to say, I will pay you. In fact, I want this. This is working. And I've had a few people. And so now it's getting serious, and now I have to step up and produce, right? And we have to produce, and then I have to show I am who I am when everyone looks around and says, hey, can I eat at your table? Like, I'm interested. I want to do that. And then I have to come through and say, yeah, we're going to do that. Let's do it, And so it's really exciting because this is not something I chased after. You don't choose Paso, it chooses you. It grabbed me by the throat.
Yeah.
You know, it grabbed us by the throat. And the only way, it's not me. I'm not the genius. Sure, I laid out a breadcrumb, a plan. You guys picked it up and made it something bigger. Everyone together made it something bigger. And then we applied it to another thing, and then it starts working, and you're like, oh shit, this is real.
Yeah.
So now let's run it to where till it dies, you know, till the wheels fall off.
Yeah.
And so now I've got to put myself out. And I'm going to be honest, in the beginning, I wondered why on earth would anyone pay me to do this? In fact, I hate the word consultant. I fucking can't stand it because it sounds to me like someone who never did anything is going to tell you how to do your shit. Right. But I'm not a consultant. I'm a vibe fucking titan.
God.
I'm a vibe titan, bro.
God.
Hey, but I'm not a consultant. Like, we're not consultants. Like, you know what I mean? Like, a consultant is like, I own a consulting business. No. We have a great business that's here. And if you want to learn how to get great culture, we'll teach you what we did. But I'm not like a consultant is someone like I'm going to give you
I would say you're a teacher. You're an educator. Like, that's who you are as a person. Like,
and this is one way of doing things.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yep.
Like, you have would you say you created clarity?
We did, yes, all together.
Not
yes.
we.
No,
like,
I mean,
like,
I created it.
Like,
yes.
it was a puzzle.
Yes.
Like, yeah, like,
yes.
you know.
Absolutely. With the help of everyone else.
Absolutely, you know. Like,
you
took a step back and you were able to see it.
Yep.
For what
and
it was.
I came here. Yep. And I said, who do we want to employ here? Who are we going to service? How are we going to do things? How are we going to treat each other? And then we started to get these behaviors, and we hired people, and we failed, and these things happened, and then we started to get success. And then that created bring people together, leave them better, people finds possibilities. And then we just started, you know, creating behaviors within the organization that fuel that.
Yeah.
You know, and so, but if you guys don't believe in it and you don't, you know, and you don't work in it, it doesn't work. So it's a team effort. That's for sure. But I did create it. I asked myself, what is it that we have? We have, you know, clear purpose and direction. We have leaders that, and that's everyone. It's not just a title. We have accountability in the organization. We're resilient. We're tough people. We do have individuals, and we embrace the individuality. The trust is there. We're building trust daily. And then the why is your why. Like, your why has to meet our why. There's a company, and then there's an individual. There's a person. And we got to treat the whole person. The person brings stuff into work from home, and we can't ignore that. And so we need to make sure that we're meeting together.
Yeah.
And so there's a lot of depth to that, but it's pretty badass.
And what would you say is our collective why?
Well, individually,
Oh.
that's your why. So I just want to clarify. And then our why as the business, bring people together, leave them better.
That's right.
Is absolutely like, and that's where it hits that last piece. If Patrick wants to come and this is just a stop off for some of the people, then we're going to ask him to give us everything he has in his short time that he's here, and we'll be grateful. And then we're also in tune going to give him everything that he wants up to what he needs. I'm not going to lecture him on, you know, anything that he doesn't
Give him
need.
the tools.
I'm not going to make him come to a meeting that he doesn't need to be in. He's just going to come here and do a great job, and then he's going to go do his new thing. And then when he goes to do his new thing, I'm going to praise him. I'm going to give him love, man. I'm going to be thankful for the time that he gave me, that he dedicated, that he gave us, right? And like, thank you for making us better. So
I won't ever praise Pat, but
all right.
yeah.
Dude, how long did we just talk?
I don't know. I don't have my watch, my glasses.
How long
my
was
laptop
that?
was dead.
Nathan, what's our time? All right, Nathan, you're coming up. Do you want to interview him?
I don't.
Dude, you're getting a bonus. Nathan,
I don't think he wants to be on here.
No, he does.
Well,
He
you
does.
know the questions though. All right.
No,
all
we're
right.
not editing. We don't edit. You want to ask him? This is your boy, dude.
But I think this would be good for you. I was just saying, as
Okay.
doing like a, you know,
All right, I'll do it. Let's
everything.
go.
And he sat here through the whole thing, so you could even ask him like his
We're gonna
thoughts
give
on
him some
said
love.
things.
Yep.
All right, peace. Hey, if you made it this far into the
Jake
podcast,
is in the band.
if you made it this far into the podcast, I need you to comment for me. Make Jake a shift lead, and this is to get interactions for the podcast. This is to give me a promotion. Let me know you made it this far by commenting. Make Jake a shift lead.
Oh my God, I love it. Dude, he called me out on my shit, and there he is. I can't wait for the Instagram post later. Make Jake a shift lead. All right, Nathan, welcome.
Thank you.
What do you think?
Hey. It's been a
Have you listened to a podcast at all
I've listened to one.
of ours?
Yes.
Which one?
I honestly don't remember. This was pre us working,
going so well.
this was a long time ago.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, welcome.
Thank you.
You are one of our newest.
I think
Are you the
am
newest
the
bartender?
newest,
You're
for
the
sure,
newest
yeah.
bartender.
100%.
You're not the newest person that we brought on because
yeah.
we have some new kitchen people. But when did you come on? How many months have you been
We're
here?
encroaching on 3 months.
3
We're
months.
Two
That's
and
what
some
I thought.
change right now.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right. So how did you? I think this is big. When I work with businesses, I say to them, how do people know about? What do people perceive your personality to be outside of the business? Right. You have the personality of the business inside, and then the personality of the business outside. What did you see from Cal Coast, or what did you know about Cal Coast?
Everything I knew about Cal Coast was from Jake,
Yep.
firstly.
Perfect.
And then this was this was about a year and a half ago. We had my grandfather's wake here
Okay.
in the patina.
Yep.
The experience that we had for that couple hours that we were here, like it really felt like we were back at home. I don't remember exactly who was helping us in the patina, but everyone so so kind that it made me just feel like, wow, this place is special without even really knowing what it is.
Yeah.
And then Jake giving me the keys and being like, hey, if you want to come be a part of this, come be a part of this. I'm in.
Yeah.
Just seeing the way that he was after the place him and I both worked at, he's 100 times better. And I'm like, I want that for myself,
Yeah.
You guys have the opportunity, the lessons, the knowledge to give me that, and I want that, something I can.
Awesome. What was your experience with the interview? What did you think? You've been through a lot of interviews, or a few interviews.
I've had a few, yeah.
What did you think?
It was
you could be honest. By the way, give us the good, bad, the ugly.
Oh, yeah,
too.
for sure.
This is not like coerced interview.
They're not holding me at gunpoint. It's okay.
No.
It was unique within itself. I haven't had an experience where, shift leads and people who weren't owners, managers, whatever else, were conducting the first interview. So now you're seeing Zach, Blake, and Maddie and talking to them first and like understanding the culture of this place and knowing what I'm going to step into before having that last interview with you, Martha, and Frank. It's not like anything I've had. Usually it's just, hey, meet here at 6, we'll talk for an hour and we'll say yes or no right there.
Yeah.
This was anything but that, it was, here's what we are. Do you want to be a part of this?
Yep.
Yeah.
And then how about when you meet with Zach? Did Zach do your handbook?
Yes, I think everyone had a touch in that handbook.
Yeah, right. Yeah. So talk about your initial onboarding. What was that experience like?
It was fantastic. Honestly, genuinely. Like, I know it sounds like, yes, here's the new guy on the podcast talking about how great this place is, but like,
It's true.
I'm
It
so
does sound horrible.
genuine when I mean this. Like, everything that you guys have preached, you mean, and I see that and I feel that, and it's like, yes, like 100%. Like, so that experience with Zach, it's exactly like what I'm trying to say. Like, everything that he's teaching me in that moment, he means.
And everybody around here has a little hand in that, right? You have to go learn how to do kegs from Blake.
Yeah. Go talk to
to
Justin about AV stuff, whatever, and I get to know a little bit of everything, and that's great. Because usually, like some jobs, like the last place, I'm stuck. That is my position, that is my role, and that's all that I am.
Yeah.
Here, you can be so much more.
Anything you want.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
All right. And so fast forward. So that's the initial, everybody gets an initial first impression.
Mm-hmm.
And then you have to go to work. And like we were talking about with Jake was asking me, I can't do all the work. Martha can't do all the work. We have a lot of people. So you don't work with us.
Mm-hmm.
You're now working with the team, right?
Yeah.
And so now you get to decide as a new person, is this for real, right? As Zach likes to say, drinking the Kool-Aid. The irony of trust is like you could ruin it in seconds, right?
Yes.
Go ahead, talk about it. What sparks up in your head? Like just, well, let me explain a little further. Is we could say all these great things, and then the second you start actually working, it's horrible, and you're like, here we go again, right? Mm-hmm. So now we have to come through on all the things that we just said we were going to do.
Yeah.
And so what was your experience like throughout the last 3 months?
It's been challenging for sure. I mean, stepping into something I've never done before. I've never worked with beer alcohol. I've never bartended a day in my life other than coming here. But I knew that I was a very people-driven person. So I think that's what helped me kind of, step into my role that I needed to step into. But for sure challenging.
Did they come through on what they said they were? Do they behave the way that they represented themselves? Our leaders.
110%.
Yeah, and that's important.
It is, and I'm gonna say it again. Unlike any place I've ever worked at, where people genuinely say what they mean and they do what they mean, like they are about it, and you don't find that really anywhere. It's rare. You know?
Yeah, and we're not perfect.
No, I mean no one
Right.
is. I've never.
There's plenty of challenges.
100, yeah.
What does bring them together, leave them better mean to you? Because it's different for everybody.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I always take it in the literal sense. If I ever move on from this place, when I move on from this place, I am going to be fundamentally just a better person. And that just comes from the lessons that I'm getting taught by, the 20 people that I'm surrounded by every single day. Everyone has their own share of change that they can give me. Each marble, that's as you guys were talking about earlier.
And you're putting marbles in. Don't forget, like it's hard to see. We talk about that. Mm-hmm. You're adding to us. Like you're exponentially making us better.
And that's all I want to do.
And we appreciate that because as we expand, we need bigger and better and more. We can't be finite or stagnant in what we're doing. And the only way to do that is to continue to have people who feel comfortable and say, hey, I see this. I think I can make it better. Mm-hmm. And that's that comfortability that comes in. And so we have... you're contributing to us just as much as we're contributing to you. Mm-hmm. All right, people, pints, possibilities. What does that mean to you?
I'm going to talk about like what we talked about earlier. People to me is everything. I think I'm a very big like people person. Like I said, I believe in people. I don't believe in much anything else. I believe in the characters that people are, and that's why I'm driven to this place. I feel like.
How did you get that way? What made you? Were you always that way, you think?
I think so. I don't know. I'm just from how I was raised and grew up, I was forced to grow up quick. And I find the value in people more than I do anything else. I love, like, my family, for example. They are, like, why I do everything that I do is so I can support them, make them happy. That's, I don't know. Like,
was there a specific moment that clicked, or you just kind of, it was always there?
Not a moment that comes to my head. I don't know. Yeah.
All right, the pints and plates. We make beer. What does that mean to you?
Honestly, I mean, it to me, it's a medium. It's a medium just to bring people together. We can talk about yesterday, like a Thursday night on a concert. Like the amount of fun that I saw over 200 people having was like, that's crazy to me. On a Thursday night, just out over here.
Yeah.
And just the memories that people are making everywhere. I'm like, yeah, we could be serving hamburgers and that's it. But I mean, if the memories are how they are out here, what does it matter?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you can always make it right. Like, there's plenty of moving parts and everything else, but the idea is we brought them together and we left them better.
Exactly. Yeah, for sure.
All right. Last one, possibilities.
They're endless. I mean, what is there not to do around here? You never thought working at, a brew house that they would have a full functioning podcast, 3 separate buildings with all these different things going on all throughout the day, multiple stages. Like that's just not common. So I don't. Yeah.
Sweet. You got to believe that anything is possible. We took an old garage and made it into a place where people come to visit. You can do anything you want.
Sure. Without a doubt.
Just got to get after it, get the steps,
it's all about the hard work you put in. Yeah.
Yep.
100%. And that's, like I said, what you guys preach all day, every day. It's putting that work in for everyone else and yourself, and you can get it done.
Dude, well, you're forever cemented in Jake's podcast right here.
Yeah.
You're on YouTube and Spotify. Although we got to get on Apple, Jake. Can we get on Apple? People keep asking me for that.
Oh, man.
Dude. All right. Well, we're glad to have you. Thank you for giving us some time here. And
make shift lead.
Operation Make Jake a shift lead. Let's go. All right. Well, thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Cheers, everybody. And we out.
Sweet.